Oxford, Mississippi, the middle of the campus of Ole Miss. This was our first visit here, 2 years ago, spring 2013.
I can't remember the last time we actually grew more than an acre.
Since the 1970s, this field has been the only place in the United States where scientists can get marijuana to dispense and research. The reason? To control the quality and distribution, all the way from the soil to the study.
This is the place where the marijuana is grown for federal research, and there's nothing in the fields. And there hasn't been for 6 years, you say?
That's correct. The last time we grew was 2007.
Mahmoud El Soli is the farm's director.
We are not growing because there is not much demand for the material that we already have.
Why isn't there more demand? I mean, this is something that a lot of
no research protocols, no research proposals, no requirement for the material.
But that was then. This is now. Nearly 2 years later, there is acre upon acre of marijuana. Ever wonder what a revolution looks like? A lush field of green for scientists. Scientists like Rick Doblin and Sue Sisley, who hope to get research-grade marijuana from these fields for the first ever federally approved clinical study to see if marijuana can treat the symptoms of PTSD.
I have to say I'm kind of stunned because, I mean, I think we were standing pretty much in the same spot and there was nothing here.
Exactly, yeah.
A year and a half ago.
Exactly.
Are you as surprised as I am?
To be honest with you, yes.
In the last year alone, the federal government has increased their production of pot by 30-fold, from just 46 pounds to 1,400 pounds. The government anticipates studies on everything from cancer to pain to epilepsy, and they want to have the marijuana ready to push science forward.
NIDA will give the marijuana, and if we don't have it, we'll have to grow it.
Dr. Nora Volkov is the director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse. They're the agency in charge of the field and responsible for dispensing marijuana for government-approved research.
We try to anticipate what researchers are going to need. And so we have, based on that, expanded our production.
Production of plants high in THC, the psychoactive part, plants high in CBD, the therapeutic part, and plants that are a combination of both. But one of the precise strains, the precise dose that Doblin and Sisley need, one that they believe might help save Sean Kernan, is not here yet. As part of our investigation, we learned that particular strain is available from other growers in the United States, but those farms cannot provide it for this federally approved study. Doblin and Sisley will have to wait for the grow at Ole Miss.
When Rick Doblin got his study approved back in March, there were specific strains, as you know, that he wanted.
Yes.
Did you have the strains for him at that time?
No, if I had, I would have delivered. You have to develop the strains, you have to get the right material, the right composition, and then you have to propagate it and produce the final product.
And all of that takes time, causing potentially deadly delays.
Our focus has to be what's best for the patients. How do we get this available to the patients, many of whom are committing suicide because of PTSD?
While Rick Doblin waits for his cannabis to be grown,
let me just have a quick listen to your breathing.
This man doesn't have to. Ole Miss already had the strain that oncologist Dr. Donald Abrams needed for his newest study.
So remember, this is a two-part experiment.
And what he is doing is yet another sign of the revolution.
You put up your medical cannabis.
It's something we first saw in Israel 2 years ago.
Filling up the spoon, so that's your medicine inside there.
Oof.
And never thought we'd see in the United States. A patient using marijuana, like this, in a hospital room.
It's unique, it's different. I never thought I'd be smoking weed in the hospital.
This is San Francisco General, an academic teaching hospital that, because of Dr. Abrams, has a stash of marijuana in their pharmacy. It is stored next to all the other medications.
Get ready.
And Abrams is using it to see if it can relieve chronic pain in patients with a rare blood disorder. Janelle Lachose is a painter. She was also born with sickle cell anemia and has been in pain for as long as she can remember.
You can exhale now.
She says marijuana makes her nearly pain-free.
How long after you smoke do you start to have some sort of relief of your pain?
Instantly. It's like instantly.
Within
I like,
minutes?
yeah, a couple minutes afterwards, you feel the relief of pain.
Janelle's in the study because she wants to know for sure, is marijuana safer and more effective than powerful painkillers and narcotics?
With marijuana, even though I may be buzzed, I can interact with life more so than with pills.
Treating pain is the most common use for medical marijuana. It may be the anti-inflammatory effects or even the dulling of pain receptors. Regardless, this study could prove to mainstream medicine what millions of medical marijuana patients already believe, that a plant may be a better pain treatment than the powerful pills that are most commonly prescribed.
Do we ever get to a point where we say, look, it's a medicine like so many other medicines out there?
I was just going to tell you, I always used to say not in my lifetime, but now I'm becoming a little more cautious because who knows? Let's just wait and see.
Wait and see. That's been a mantra for decades when it comes to pot. But for Rick Doblin and his veterans, the time for waiting is over.
The U of A assistant professor now believes that...
And yet they're about to be faced with shocking news that could put the whole PTSD study in jeopardy.